I have a confession to make. That's right, Book Nook Librarian here. My name is Connie. Oh yes, I've got a good one. Like, this one has even surprised me. I don't really have anything to say for myself except I'm going to confess what happened. Are you ready? It went something like this. Book club. So at book club, we were discussing the next book that we were going to read. And I didn't want to read the book that they were talking about. Yes, that's right, my friends. I did not want to read the book they were talking about. Did I know anything about it? No. Did I, I was not intrigued by the little breadcrumbs of details that they were giving me. One person said, well, I've wanted to read that book since it appeared on Barack Obama's reading list last year. And someone else said, yeah, it sounds really interesting. Time travel. And then I was like, time travel? I just wasn't into it. I really made up my mind in that very moment that I didn't want to read that book. I didn't say anything, I remember just saying one thing. I remember saying I really just kind of wanted a holiday read. I wanted a book like, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, or I wanted just like a holiday book, something that was holiday themey. I mean, they kind of talked about it like in that way that you talk about a book that you sort of want to read but aren't fully committed to reading. So I'm sure I was picking up a little bit on that. So, they said, time travel, and that immediately made me think of Michael Crichton's Timeline, which I loved. But, not everybody is Michael Crichton. Not everybody can do time travel the way Timeline did it, which was brilliant. So, I mean, I don't know. I was having a mood. I was in a mood, having a mood, all around a mood, and I did not want to read it. While they're talking about said book, I looked it up on Libby, and Libby said that it would be like a 26-week wait for either the audiobook or the ebook. So now I'm like, I really don't want to read it. I mean, it feels real trendy to me, and not that I'm opposed to that. Okay, really. It's just that I just wasn't on board. I just flat out wasn't on board. And I was in a mood. I wasn't on board. I was in a mood, and I just wanted to have my holiday book sort of thing. Not that I had a suggestion either. So I don't know. I feel bad, and yet this is the way it went down. The things that they said that didn't grab me. I mean, they said that it's really a love story, a slow burn, but it's worth it. I don't really know what is that. Is that I don't know what to do with that kind of information. So again, I'm still sort of feeling like, yeah, this is not really what I want to do. I mean, I did click hold, and and I thought, oh, we'll see. But the fact is that there weren't copies of the book in the shop, in the bookstore. So we were going to be waiting anyway. It is a little bit, it's about trauma and it's about healing. So I hear trauma, and I think, again, I don't want to read about trauma during like the holiday season. I just don't. I've read a lot of traumatic books this year, and I just am not really up for that. And we just finished The Roundhouse by Louise Erdrich. So I'm like really thinking I will never read a book as good as that. So I'm just not feeling it like in any way, shape, or form, just the way it is. This is not something I do. I don't dig in. When it comes to a book, I dig into the book, but I don't dig in about the next book that we're going to read. I don't have a tremendous background in, adult fiction. So I'm just here to learn and to kind of catch up on some books that I've missed in the last, 40 years. I just don't want this. So I bet you're wondering what happened. I bet you're wondering, okay, so what happened? I decided not to read the book. I just decided I'm not going to read the book. I'm not going to read the book, and you can't make me. I'm going to pass on yesterday's book. So don't order me a copy. I'm just passing. And so he said, really? Okay. And immediately in that, really, I felt bad. But not bad enough to say, yeah, I'm going to get on board this train and I'm going to read this book. Not that bad. Then here's the thing. Sunday night, 26 weeks must have gone by like that. It must have been a sort of time warp because Sunday night I get a little ding on my notifications and it indicates Libby says, "Hey, this book is ready for you to borrow." What? I said I wasn't going to read it. All right. I said I wasn't. So I don't know, Libby. Okay, fine. Then I take it like a sign. It's some sort of sign from the book gods and goddesses that possibly I should try the book. I am like in a calm, restful state. It's about that time of the evening where I could just settle in and read a little bit. So it was the audiobook and I thought, all right, sure. I'll give it a whirl. I'll give it a few minutes, maybe a chapter. Okay. I'll try it. So good. Like so good. I mean, it's really an interesting thing to ponder, this book, because it's like, I didn't even think that I would like it. And then I listened to the first chapter and I'm kind of curious, right? So then I go to sleep, right? I wake up next morning and I think to myself, wasn't that interesting that you had thought that you weren't going to like that book at all based on what everybody said about it? And it turns out you kind of liked it. It's got to be some sort of an aberration. So you know what you're going to do? You're going to listen to that chapter again. And you're going to then decide whether you're going to commit to this book or not. So I did. I listened to the chapter again and it was great. Oh! I mean, the British government is quietly running this program that pulls people out of, sort of doomed historical, expeditions. For example, like the Franklin expedition, which I didn't know that much about. I'm now slightly obsessed about, and like the Franklin expedition, and it drops them into the 21st century, into the modern world. There's no fanfare. There's no explanation. It's just congratulations. You didn't die in the Arctic, and now here's an iPhone. Really. It's like that. The narrator's job in this book is to help one of these displaced persons, adjust to the 21st century. That's right. Adjust, acclimate, assimilate, all of those things. And this is so good. It's like mind-blowingly good. It's told so well. Quirky and funny and so enthralling in places that you can't stop reading it. You're just drawn in. The conversations, the dialogue, the back and forth, the sort of administration of the Ministry of Time. Yes, that's the book. The admin part of it is also really fascinating. The ministry is hiding, though, major pieces of how and why this is happening. So even as a reader, you're kind of in the dark. You're only getting about as much information as some of the expats are getting. It's so good. So what did I discover about myself? I discovered sometimes I am fixed in how I want to read a book. I am surprised that I ran across this quirky little trait, this quirky little bug in my operating system. Yeah, I am really mystified by it, but I am not deterred. This book is so above and beyond, and I'm so glad that I'm reading it, and I hope it maintains this kind of I hope I maintain this enthusiasm for it because it's a good story. It's a good thing to learn about yourself, that you're not always right about the books that you want to read. And you're not always right about the angle or the way in which the book is pitched. So just kind of keep that in mind. When you're talking to your friends about a book, sometimes you need to consider their angle. I don't know what would have made it better. I mean, I was definitely in a mood that evening. I had really enjoyed the book that we finished, and my expectation was pretty high. My expectation was like, I want to read something just as good. Can we read another Louise Erdrich book? Can we read another like Native American voices sort of story? I was like on board, and I was now confronted with reading something that was just pitched as time travel, when in fact it is so much more. So thanks for joining me on another episode of Book Nook Librarian. I'm Connie, and I really appreciate you being here. Let me know in the comments what you think of this book, Ministry of Time. Have you read it? Is it something you might try reading based on my pitch? Or is it like a pass? I think for me, I'm glad that the library gods and goddesses took pity on me, because this has been a really good book for me and a really good reading experience. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next video, keep reading. Whatever you want, keep reading.